Welcome to Skeptics to Seekers, exploring the edges of wellness, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of holistic health and self-discovery. Join your hosts, Leandra Jackson and Heather Bergen, as they guide you on a journey to uncover the secrets of wellness. Each episode, they'll challenge conventional wisdom, explore innovative practices, and empower you to take charge of your well-being. Get ready to transform your skepticism into curiosity, and your curiosity into a path to wellness. Let's embark on this journey together.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us for the Skeptics to Seekers podcast, exploring the edges of wellness. Today, we're going to be talking about why rhythm matters, mostly about a morning routine, because if your morning routine is off, then your whole day can be off. And I'm going to start with just a little bit of a metaphoric story. So the lunar tides within us, just as the moon pulls the ocean's tides with quiet certainty, our bodies respond to rhythm, internal and external. The moon doesn't shout, yet it moves entire coastlines. In the same way, our daily practices, waking, eating, moving, resting, shape the emotional and energetic landscape of our lives. When we ignore rhythm, we feel scattered like waves crashing without pattern. But when we honor it, we become like the tide, predictable, powerful, and deeply connected to something greater.
So, my invitation to you is to reflect on your day for a moment and think, what parts of your day feel chaotic and what parts feel more sacred and under control?
We would love to know.
So this episode is about reclaiming your day as a healing practice. So really what that means is when you do things with intention, then everything you do becomes sacred. So really thinking, what am I doing right now and why? And asking yourself that question all the time. Getting a glass of water. I'm hydrating. I'm healing myself. Folding laundry, even like doing the dishes can be a sacred act if you're doing it with intention instead of like anger and frustration. Like, I know we can always get in that space of like, oh my gosh, gotta do the dishes.
Yeah.
Again.
It's interesting you brought that up because I always feel like if at the end of the day, I don't have a certain amount of things marked off my, list of to-dos. And a lot of times it has to do with work on itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always like housework. Like if I do like all day long in the house, doing stuff in the house, catching up on the housework, then I feel like I haven't been progressive. But if I focus in on, no, this is a good thing. This is where I need to be today. This is what I need to be doing. And those things are also important. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it does still make it a sacred kind of
keeping our space clean and organized is a sacred practice. It's not just busy work.
Exactly.
And sometimes we don't count that.
Right. We want to rise with intention. And I know I like to push the snooze button. My husband, he'll pop right up. He's like, if I don't get up, then I'm going to be lazy.
My husband's like that too.
That's exactly what I need to do. So this morning I did get up better. I only push the snooze button once. But I do set the alarm so I can kind of do that. And that's not always the best practice for people. So just be aware of what practice is best for you. And, the importance of consistent waking time. We have our circadian rhythm. Why we wake up at a good time is also sacred. And our bodies are wired for rhythm. And so the circadian clock is the 24-hour clock, the internal timekeeper. And it regulates everything from hormones to stress levels to digestion and mood. And that is cued on a consistent wake time. So whether you're waking with the sunlight or to an alarm clock, or
it's really waking the same time every day, consistently. I'll be honest, my daughter, who struggles with some ADHD and some other processing issues, has been working and doing a lot of things, and she is trying to make her wake. Sometimes she has to work at like 5 a.m. So she is trying to go to bed earlier and making her wake time more consistent because she knows that in her body it feels better if she wakes up at the same time every day, even if that means going to bed earlier at night. She has struggled with sleep a lot in her life and really has appreciated the balance that a consistent sleep time and a consistent wake time bring to her day. And I also have noticed this as well. I have a consistent wake time. I'm up early on the weekends. I go to bed early. Every now and then I'll stay up late and it's amazing. I can do that, but that is definitely a break to the routine. It's not, I do really try to be consistent overall.
Yeah, definitely.
And here's why. Because I've learned this as a health coach, as a nurse, as all the things, and you know this too, as a nutritionist and health coach. The biggest thing we're always trying to do, I don't know anyone who doesn't say they're stressed. Like everybody says, oh, stress is the biggest problem. And we've talked about this before. Stress is what brings 90% of the people in to see the doctor.
Yeah.
It's like their stress has gotten so bad that their body is reacting.
It manifests physically.
Yeah. So here's the thing. What's a hard truth? If you're always trying to figure out how to reduce your stress, the reality is you can't always change your external circumstances. Sometimes you just need to change how you're dealing with those circumstances and how you can support yourself when you're facing these challenges. How you feel internally about the circumstances you're facing and how you handle it. And here's the hard truth. Waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time can help stabilize your cortisol levels. This is your cortisol peaks in the morning to energize us. Erratic wake times confuse this rhythm, leading to grogginess, anxiety, and fatigue. So already you're starting behind. If you're tired when you're waking up because you're not getting right out of bed, because you're not getting up at the same time, you're already starting kind of behind the 8 ball. And then it improves your sleep quality. I know some of my family members have watches or rings. I asked my husband the other day, how did you sleep last night? And he said, let me check.
I don't quite know.
I was like, really? Like he wanted to look at his watch and see what his sleep quality said. And then he compares, like, do I feel like I got a good night's sleep? And then does that resonate with like what my watch is telling me?
Sure, yeah.
But I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's why I got rid of the watch. I had a watch for a while, and it's just like my watch. Oh, I have to make sure my watch is telling me. And really, it is more of an internal the circadian clock. And that's what we have to pay attention
rested? Or no? Yeah. Exactly. So it improves your sleep. It stabilizes, supports digestion and metabolism.
Absolutely.
Guess what? That rest and digest, all one thing. Mm-hmm. When we're sleeping, this is our body's chance to regulate its metabolism, to detox on its own.
Right.
There's so much going on in your body when you're sleeping. You're healing. Your brain is even healing. Like you're processing stuff. You don't know it, but it's happening in your brain. So if you're getting that good sleep, it's good for your mental health.
Yeah, your hormones and your blood sugar.
And that enhances emotional resilience. A steady rhythm calms the nervous system, reducing stress and improving mood regulation. So here's the reality, guys. This is why health coaches, if you ever start any type of health or fitness or coaching program, there's 2 things they're going to tell you. Drink your water and get good sleep.
Right.
And a lot of times just working on those sleep habits can help you lose weight, help you feel better about your day, help your body regulate, reduce your stress. I mean,
now, if you're a person that has insomnia and has tried lots of different things for sleep, you can say, oh, I tried everything. Well, I wouldn't say that's exactly true because you're still not sleeping. So if that is the case, then you might need to get a health coach that can help you to determine what would be the best idea and just like in our last episode, we talked about you have to be willing to do the work. So just like we were saying, you have to be willing to have that good sleep time and the quiet time. And you were talking about the phones.
Yeah. So I was working with a coach, health coach. I am a health coach.
We all need our own coaches.
But she really held me accountable, and she really pushed me to get the phone out of my bedroom. And I was like, anything but that. Really, truly. I was so resistant. She was a friend of mine, but and she would just gently be like, how is it going with getting the phone out of the bedroom? And I'm like, I am really not doing that. But finally, she just held me to that for so long that I did move my phone out of my bedroom. And it 100% increased my sleep quality. I'm a looker at the phone in the middle of the night, which is why it needs to be not within my reach.
Right.
I will just reach over and grab it, and then I'm like, oh, scroll for a second.
Oh, you'll even scroll.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So when Leandra said we were going to do this topic this time, I was like, I need to get my phone out. This was like the thing that just really occurred to me is I really need to get my phone out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I bought a clock on Amazon last night. It should be here probably tomorrow. And I am going to work on getting my phone back out of the bedroom. If it is an emergency, they will call my husband. He can have his phone in the bedroom because he is not a nighttime scroller like me. So if there's an emergency, someone can call and he could hear the phone.
And you can have it to where it's like only certain people can call through, because I have my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Right.
And I only have it set to where, like, okay, if my kids are out of the house, they can call. Or if somebody calls 2 times in a row, then it'll come through and then you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
So you can always have that option if there is anxiety there to not have the phone next to
Right.
you.
I mean, it is.
Right.
So interesting.
So the second clock, we talked about the circadian rhythm, and the second clock is more along the lines of women, and it's our monthly rhythm. And while the circadian rhythm governs a 24-hour biological clock, women also move through a 28-ish day infradian rhythm, is what it's called. And that's the menstrual cycle as well. So this second clock influences energy, mood, metabolism, and even sleep patterns. And honoring both rhythms allow for deeper alignment and self-compassion. So our first episode, we highlighted a specific book called In the Flow, and it does talk in depth about the infradian rhythm. So you can go back to listen to the first episode or get the book. It's a great book. There's lots of information about honoring your cycle as a woman.
Yeah, and I think it's like honoring how you're feeling, because there's different parts of your cycle. And during some parts of your cycle, you're really more prone to energy and organizing. Another time, you're more prone to needing rest. And so knowing that and honoring that in your body, and if you have the ability to set your schedule up that way so that maybe you don't put a ton of extra things on your calendar when you know you're going to be fatigued.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but then you have that other week where you're like totally ready to go. Like, yeah,
your communication is on point. Your energy's on point.
Stack your calendar that week. Get the stuff done. Get the stuff done that week so that you have that time to rest.
Right. And that's the awareness that we need to figure out within us, because there's so many people who are just not aware of their bodies and how they're feeling. It's just go, 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 always for everybody else. And that's great to be in service of others, but to really get in touch with ourselves so we can be of better service. And what kind of person are you if you're always go, 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 and then you want to make a good example for somebody else and all they see is you not taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
So they're going to do the same thing at some point.
I have friends that I would watch just run themselves into the ground, and then they'd be like down with a migraine for like 4 days. And I was like, I think if you hadn't pushed yourself, you might not have gone down so hard for 4 days with a migraine or whatever else your body was screaming at you about to relax, if you would have just maybe listened to your body and not pushed it so hard that it collapsed. And then they do it again. I mean, it's like amazing.
That's the awareness that we need to be in touch with, for sure. And there's some natural wake-up aids, kind of touch base. The sunlight. You can use essential oils in the morning, which are great. I like to use peppermint or lemon or citrus oils. Today I have lemongrass and tea tree diffusing, and also in the kitchen I have the harvest spice fall aroma. So just get some good aromas around you and gently move your body. So I'm getting more little tidbits of videos on my YouTube channel for movement, and you might start doing some recordings if you don't have people in your classes.
Yeah, I was going to record my yoga classes.
Yeah, Heather does more in-person classes. I'll do more virtual. So there's some really great ways that you can use as natural wake-up aids.
Yes, like if you're familiar with yoga at all, it's something like a sun salutation where you just kind of just moving your whole body. Some of us might have called this stretching.
I'll say my kids, like, did you stretch this morning? Yeah, I'm stretching right now. You know, they're just like waking up in bed. So if you consider your stretch that you do before you even get out of bed, the one little stretch that you do, that's not quite enough.
Do a little bit more than that. But it's, I mean, even just doing that is you are just trying to wake up your body and connect. So we're moving into we were talking specifically first about that sleep-wake schedule. So getting up and going to bed at the same time. But then we're now moving into this concept of your morning routine. So how are you spending your morning? And again, for me, part of the getting the phone out of my room is, I mean, I'm like right on that screen. Give me that dopamine hit all the time. Not healthy, FYI. Not recommending this. I'm saying it distracts me in the most productive part of my day, which is the morning. I get sidetracked instead of doing my own self-care and setting myself up for success.
We can all definitely sink into that doom scroll.
Yeah, it's so easy. So in your morning routine, just waking up, getting up when you wake up. Did we talk about that?
Yes. Get up.
Get up when you wake up. Thank you, Mel Robbins. She's got whole podcasts on this. Doing some movement, and then perhaps a grounding practice, whether that's meditation, a little bit of breath work, walking in nature. You know, I have that built into my schedule because I take the dogs for a walk in the morning.
Nice.
And it used to be more meditative when I took them to the dog park. Sometimes now I'm a little more focused on them because there's other dogs in the neighborhood and they're on leash, but it's still getting outside, looking at the trees, looking at the sky, feeling that sunlight on my face first thing in the morning can just be so refreshing and healing. And then what are you putting in your body?
Yeah, so nourishment. Warm lemon water is a great option. Herbal teas. You know, a lot of us want to go to the coffee. Well, I mean, caffeine is an option, but a pot of coffee throughout the day just to feel like you gotta go, you know, like you're awake. That is not being awake. That is being completely, you know, it's like a substitute for
reliance on a substance.
Yeah, reliance on a substance. And so warm water is great. And, you know, have some really good healthy breakfast options. So you can have like a savory bowl of scrambled eggs, sauteed greens, which could be like spinach or kale, avocado slices. You could even have some sweet potatoes or quinoa. And that's like, oh, that's all breakfast food. But savory stuff that you can have throughout the day can be anytime. And then chia pudding parfaits are a great option. Greek yogurt and seeds. So also smoothies that have a good protein, fibers, and a healthy fat. So nothing that has like, don't grab the sweet rolls. Don't grab the donuts. If you're going to make a smoothie, make it where it's going to be more healthy.
Not just fruit. Put some protein in there.
Protein. Yes, exactly. Some fiber. So have something that's going to sustain you and give you some nourishment. Also, your smart supplementation is very important in the morning so you can continue with that energy throughout the day. I'll also do my vitamins in the afternoon. If I forget them in the morning, I do like to do them in the afternoon because a lot of us will get that little afternoon slump. And if you're on a good vitamin, that'll help pick you up in just the right way without reaching for the caffeine.
Right.
So,
okay.
And then there's other daily practices like weaving wellness into your day. So you can still get some movement in if you're a desk worker. Get up every hour and a half, do 10 minutes of stretching, do some walking around, grab a healthy snack. Be mindful, like you were saying, to, make the practices sacred. Try not to make it to where you're like, oh, rush, 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 rush. And I know that can be hard. Especially if you're somebody that has to travel a lot during the day and you're like on a crunch and then you get stuck in traffic.
Right.
But that's the time when we do want to be more intentional with our emotions and how we're reacting to things. And that goes into emotional hygiene. So if you have time, journal or even dictate to the computer about how you're feeling if you don't like to type or write. And even if you're just doodling for 5 minutes, at least something will come out that will release that emotional, angst. And being grateful and have forgiveness, that is so important because if we're not grateful for even the things that are hard, even the things that stress us out, be grateful for that because it is a learning time for us. It's an experience for us to be able to see it, adjust fire, and move on throughout our day rather than allowing it to dictate.
To me, more and more, I come back to this concept of, again, I do the human design. And so there's a thing called a 3-line in the human design. And these people learn by making mistakes. Like you cannot tell them what to do. They're going to do it their own way. And if you have a child like this, you just need to keep that safety bubble around them and allow them to make their own mistakes because that is how they learn.
Exactly.
And I have to work with this because I was definitely a parent that was like, told you so. Like, definitely saw that coming, didn't you? Right. And so for me, just learning the difference between I told you so or what did you do wrong? Instead of phrasing it, what did you do wrong? You can be like, what did you learn from that?
Exactly.
What did that teach you? What did you learn from that? And when you go back at it with that frame of reference, it's just so much more graceful.
Right. You're giving yourself grace.
You're giving yourself grace. You're modeling that grace. And then you're giving maybe your kids or those other people in your life that are those experiential learners the opportunity to live their life in alignment without judgment or punishment.
Yeah, I was definitely like that as a kid. I always had to learn from my own mistakes. And I made a lot of them. So
I have a couple of kids like that. I wish I would have been a little more like, gentle about parenting that instead of being maybe so judgmental.
Yeah, I get that. And, once you're kind of in a good routine, and we'll move into like the sleep and evening wind down. So we've had a busy day. We've had a good morning routine, a good healthy breakfast. We've ate healthy snacks throughout the day, got hydrated. And we had a busy work day that was full of, progress and got a lot of stuff done on our checklist, right? That's how we want our days to go. And then we have our sleep and evening wind down. So we want to return to stillness.
Yeah.
We want to make sure,
don't just go until you drop. Again, I'm going to dive into a few things about the human design. Again, some of us are a little bit more okay with going till you drop. But again, this happened to my daughter the other day. We were up late and it was lovely. We were having a conversation in the kitchen and chatting. And so she retired down to her room maybe 2 hours later than she usually does. And you know what? She did not sleep well because she went And I was like, you missed your window. And she's like, I did. I missed my window. She's like, I need to go down and decompress before I fall asleep.
Right.
And then she felt pressured to. So having that sleep window and then having a nice, cool, dark, tech-free environment to sleep in.
Natural sleep aids can be very helpful. Magnesium, lemon balm, skullcap, lavender, vetiver's, essential oils, those things.
Or there's
evening rituals.
Evening rituals, like even, again, some stretching, like some gentle yin yoga, or even putting your legs up the wall.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Leg up the wall pose.
You know what there's also is if you lay with your legs up on a chair, so it's like that 90-90 with your feet just on the chair and laying on your back. I have been doing that in my yoga classes because we have chairs available, and I will tell you, people don't want to get up there. It's like such a relaxing position.
It is. It helps bring the blood back to the main organs and flow to the brain and to relax. It's almost an inversion, and inversion poses are very calming to the nervous system and does help that blood flow because we're always stuck in gravity in this direction. So when we can kind of invert our body, as long as your body is okay with it. So legs up the wall, like you said, on the chair, always great options.
Always great options. Or just some candlelight or journaling, trying to get tech-free for like 30 minutes before you go to sleep. So reading, journaling, just maybe some breath work. Again, making that, washing your face. I'm going to say coming up with like that sacred ritual that starts telling your body, hey, we are heading to bed. It's time to relax. Brushing your teeth, even washing your face. That
preparing your body to start reproducing, to produce the melatonin that it needs in order to go to sleep. So start doing that as, close to your bedtime as you can, or like within 2 hours of your bedtime. Even. 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Starting that ritual, winding down.
And, your day, use your day as a devotion and just try to keep that in your mind, whether you're busy or not. Just come back to the sacred space that's within you. And some takeaways here, I would say, would be to honor your body, create that nice wake up time schedule. Have your daily routine where it's going to honor each step of your day and your practices. And we would love to know some of your rituals and practices on your daily routines.
Definitely. So again, your intentional day, your sacred day, help connect with your body, mind, and spirit throughout your day.
Definitely. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the Skeptics to Seekers, exploring the wellness of
the edges of wellness.